So Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira this weekend, and I'm going to break down who's going to win this fight, and I'm going to go with Max Holloway to beat Charles Oliveira. You may ask, why am I going to go with Max Holloway to beat Oliveira? It's mostly because I think he's a really good striker of the two. I think he's able to negate the grappling, at least not be caught where he'll be in a bad position. Plus, in the first fight, even though it was only like 2 minutes long and not really much you could really take from it, but he was really doing well, not trying to get taken down. He was on the back foot. Nothing really happened, but it was like Holloway would land a big shot, pounce on Oliveira, and then he'll like be out of the way immediately before Oliveira could even think about getting a takedown on Holloway. Like, he was really doing good with the game plan he had, especially against a grappler. So I don't know, it just, that fight was years ago, and Oliveira did get better offensively when it comes to grappling, and even his wrestling has improved massively, especially when he took down Gamrot the way he did. Like, I was never expecting Oliveira to do that to Gamrot. Like, I know it's Gamrot and not really that crazy of a win, but at one point Gamrot was a pretty decently rated guy, you know, like especially when it came to the grappling, and Oliveira to do that to Gamrot is very impressive. Like, he took him down, subbed him, and even before then he was kind of winning the grappling exchanges. Even he had his back in round 1. I know he got taken down, but it wasn't that long before Oliveira took his back. He sat out for a round, and then he came back in the second, took him down, and then submitted Gamrot. But in that fight alone, you could see Oliveira is there to be hit a lot. Like, Gamrot was landing big shots against Oliveira. Like he was making Gamrot look clean, like a little too clean. I know, like, Gamrot does look clean in moments, especially if you saw him against Dan Hooker. He was landing really good shots. He even dropped Hooker. And I think his boxing or hands in general is kind of underrated. I'm not gonna lie to you, because he's pretty clean. But the only problem is he doesn't have any power to get any respect. Like, Oliveira was getting hit with big shots, and then he would just not be phased. He's like, oh, I can eat these, and then just threw his own shots and took down Gamrot, and that would be pretty much it. The same thing with Hooker. Like, Hooker would get hit with like a bunch of big shots, and then Hooker would land one big shot, and then it would hurt Gamrot, and then Hooker's winning now. And then he won the fight against Gamrot by split decision, or it was unanimous. I forgot which one, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, that cost him the fight against Dan Hooker is because he didn't have that much pop to get respect, and he couldn't really get the grappling going past round 2. But still, great performance by Oliveira. I'm not gonna take anything away from that win, but I'm just saying, if Gamrot is doing that to you on the feet, imagine what Holloway is gonna do to you. You know, I don't know. It's just, I'm so worried that Oliveira is not really gonna come in here with a good game plan and just do the same thing what he did against Elio or any other fight in general, and just kind of brawl with the dude and just follow them, especially when Holloway is kind of more of a backwards fighter now and has way more pop now at lightweight. I don't know if he really does have a lot more pop than he does. I think it's mostly speed, but it could also be pop. But it just, I don't know, a lot of the guys he's dropping either already been finished, don't really have the best chins, or they have been chinned already. Then again, he did hurt Gaethje when that kind of meant something, so never mind. But Gaethje gets hurt almost every fight though. I don't know. I think it's a little overrated, but Oliveira doesn't have a granted chin. He has great recovery, but he doesn't have a granted chin. I think Poirier pound for pound probably has a better chin than him, and Gaethje as well. Well, Gaethje could fall more in durability, but not a lot of people are just pointing out Gaethje either. But Oliveira is the weakest chins, all of them. It's just his recovery is really well. While speaking to that, I just realized if Holloway does drop Oliveira, and I think he will drop him in a moment, I don't think he's going to try to follow him to the ground. Like, that could be a decent advantage for Oliveira, because Holloway is not going to follow him if it does hit the ground, because it's too risky. He can end up on his guard, and then Holloway will get flipped or something. He'll roll to the legs. He'll probably let Oliveira back up to the feet. And I think that could give him a little bit more recovery time, and that could give him a little bit more benefit. But can he keep doing that? You know, that's a big issue, because I don't know if he could. Like, I know I just said that Holloway doesn't have the craziest power, but it doesn't tickle. It doesn't like, oh, that shoot, you're not gonna feel that. He has like studying power. I think that's what it is. It's not like, oh, he'll finish you with the power, but he'll hurt you bad. I know that. He did drop Poirier, which is kind of impressive, even though Poirier got KO'd. I already said this, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, there is decent pop there. It's not finishing pop, but he'll hurt you pop. and I don't know if Oliveira could keep eating those shots, especially if Max goes to the body, mix it up, go for the spinning back kick. I guess Oliveira could take advantage of that, because I do feel like Holloway is going to be a little bit more hesitant going for that spinning back kick, because it does leave him open to get taken down, and Oliveira could take his back and try to finish him there. You know, I don't know, that's a little worrisome for Holloway, but I don't know, I don't feel like it's the worst case scenario. I think he could throw like a good 3 and then not throw him again, just enough to like hurt Oliveira and keep him at bay, because he does throw that thing way too fast. It's unfair how fast Holloway is at lightweight. Like, I know featherweight skill and all, or like lighter man skill, it's just unfair how fast he is. I saw him against Gaethje, I saw him against the other guy, Poirier, and he's just way too fast, especially with the combinations he's be throwing. It's just like, it's unfair the speed he has, but he does not like getting hit by lightweights, I'll tell you that, because Poirier landed like a simple jab and you could see Holloway like, oh shoot, I don't want to get hit by that again, or even Gaethje like, oh shoot, I don't want to get hit with that again. So maybe Oliveira could give him a struggle with that, because Gaethje did say himself that Oliveira hit so hard he didn't feel his tongue and he felt vibration. I'm just saying that actually might be a little bit crazy. I don't know if Gaethje was glazing or not, but that dude hits hard. And if Holloway gets hit clean, it might rock him, especially when he has been chinned already and he has been dropped in his last fight. He has been dropped in his last 3 fights actually. So I don't know. It's a little worrisome for Holloway there, especially if like Oliveira try to implement a clinch game plan, because I think that's where a lot of the shots Oliveira is going to come from. If he shows up with the clinch game plan / grappling game plan, I think that's the best move for Oliveira. Try to smother Holloway, try to give him no space, try to put pressure on him, because that's probably one of the best things Oliveira does do. I don't know if he's able to do it anymore, because he has taken a lot of damage as well. It's not like it's just Holloway that's taking the most damage, but can he do it? Yes, he can. However, I don't know, it does take him a while before he could get there, and I don't know if he's able to do that against Holloway. I already said this, and Holloway again isn't a Gamrot, and if Gamrot is able to land shots on you on the back foot, I feel like Holloway, especially he was already doing that in the first fight, it's going to give Oliveira a lot more struggle with that. Especially I think he will drop Oliveira in a moment, and I just can't trust anymore for a fighter to come in there with a good game plan and throw leg kicks, try to be a mixed martial artist. Oliveira can, it's just I don't know if he could, because every time I tried to pick that outcome, it never happened. So if Oliveira goes for the knees and freaking trying to clinch for Holloway, then freaking he took the advice, and all of a sudden I'll look like Mystic Mac out here if I get that correct. I hope Oliveira does do that game plan, but I don't know. I have to wait and see if he does, because a lot of MMA fighters don't like MMA because they don't like to mix it up for some reason. But you know who does like to mix it up? Holloway. He doesn't really mix it up when it comes to the grappling, but he'll add low kicks, spinning back kicks. I don't know, he's just so well rounded. I just love that about Holloway. Like, somebody perfectly described it. Like, Holloway fights like how we think we fight. Like, that's exactly what Holloway fights like. Like, if I was an MMA fighter, I would do exactly what Holloway does on the feet. Stay on the back foot. I could go forward if I want to. I got spinning back kicks, leg kicks, body kicks, head kicks. Good at boxing, goes to the body. Like, I don't know. Max Holloway does it all, and I love that about him. So that's why I'm picking him against Oliveira. I just think he's a little too clean, and if Gamrot's able to do that, I feel like Holloway is able to do it, and probably better, and he probably will, and just keep at bay, probably finish Oliveira in the 3rd round, especially Oliveira's trying to look for a finish, go for the big meaty hugs, and KO Oliveira in the 3rd round. I think that's how the fight's gonna go. Oliveira's gonna get sloppy, especially moving forward, and then Max is gonna catch Oliveira and finish him in round 3. That's how I think the fight's gonna go. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I plan to make more, and that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed it, and God bless all of you, and talk to you later.